Hey everybody, Sebastian here, back again with another question from Bluebook Test 1, Reading and Writing Module 2B. This time question 14, right? It's the median question, right? There's 13 questions after this, 13 questions before this. We are right in the middle, and it is a fun one, I think, so let's get into it. Birds of many species ingest foods containing carotenoids, pigmented molecules that are converted into feather coloration. Coloration tends to be especially saturated in male birds' feathers, and because carotenoids also confer health benefits, the deeply saturated colors generally serve to communicate what is known as an honest signal of a bird's overall fitness to potential mates. However, ornithologist Alison J. Schultz and others have found that males in several species of the tanager genus Rhamphochelys use microstructures in their feathers to manipulate light, creating the appearance of deeper saturation without the birds necessarily having to maintain a carotenoid-rich diet. These findings suggest that blank. Which choice most logically completes the text? So this is an inference question, right? It's not too bad. You don't need to know it is an inference question, but we need to fill it in. So what do the findings suggest? And they could suggest a lot of things. You don't want to come up with your own answer. You would look at the answer choices and use them to help yourself. A. Individual male tanagers can engage in honest signaling without relying on carotenoid consumption. I never know how to say this word, carotenoid. But I don't need to be able to answer it. So B. Feather microstructures may be less effective than deeply saturated feathers for signaling overall fitness. C. Scientists have yet to determine why tanagers have a preference for mates with colorful appearances. And D. A male tanager's appearance may function as a dishonest signal of the individual's overall fitness. So what were the findings, right? Found that males in several species of the tanager genus use microstructures in their feathers to manipulate light. That's pretty impressive. Creating the appearance of deeper saturation without the birds necessarily having to maintain a carotenoid-rich diet, right? And above, we're told that coloration tends to be especially saturated in male bird feathers because carotenoids also confer health benefits, right? And that gives it this deeply saturated color and also tells people like, oh, look at me, I'm eating healthy, I can eat healthy, and I'm strong because of that, right? So that's an honest signal. But then we're told, right, that other birds, male birds in the species, in the genus, can manipulate it with microstructures. So they don't actually have to have the diet, but they still have that color, right? So it's confusing it. So, A, individual male tanagers can engage in honest signaling without relying on carotenoid consumption. Okay. But it's not honest signaling, right? Because honest signaling would be if they did rely on it. So I put a minus. Feather microstructures may be less effective than deeply saturated feathers for signaling overall fitness. Maybe that's true, but it's not the saturated feathers that are signaling it, it's the color. So I'll put a minus there. Scientists have yet to determine why tanagers have a preference for mates with colorful appearances. I'm going to cross that one out because we know why. Because it's associated with a good diet of carotenoids. And then D, a male tanager's appearance may function as a dishonest signal of the individual's overall fitness. Okay, this one I'm going to put a plus on, right? And I think it's that one because they're sort of lying through these microstructures, right? They're manipulating the light to seem like they have the same saturation as these other birds who have the carotenoid-rich diet, right? But they don't have that rich diet, but they look like it, so they're lying, right? And we know it's dishonest, right? Because it says what is known as an honest signal. And it helps us to focus on the transitions, right? Like however, because that's sort of showing like we're shifting, right? So they're going to be in contrast to the honest signal birds. So if they were honest, these are dishonest because they did it by eating a good diet and these people did it by, or these birds did it by manipulating light. Honestly, that's more impressive to me than eating a good diet, but it is a lie. So we're going to go with D. Okay? If you have another way to read this one or how you got this answer, let me know. Not too bad of a question, but it's still definitely tricky because you need to follow the argument and see how the color in the feathers ties in with the manipulated color, ties in with the carotenoid diet and ties in with overall fitness, right? I love topics like this. Birds are incredible. If you're interested in stuff like this, I would definitely recommend this book called, I think, The Evolution of Beauty. And it's all about birds by this ornithologist at Princeton. And it's just amazing to see how the things that we find beautiful in nature and how things nature finds beautiful in itself, right, have sort of evolved across eons. So if anyone has read that or is interested in that, let me know. Otherwise, I hope it is sunny where you are, like always. And if it's snowing, I hope it is leaving a nice, beautiful path for you to walk on so you can see your footprints in a nice, clean way, right? I hope it's not that slush like it often becomes. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.